question on the street is, where is the governor?
Ondo State people need to exercise a little bit patience. He's just coming from a long medical journey. He need all the rest in this world. We are at the right time come to acquire. That I want to assure the good people of Ondo State.
Why can't he allow the deputy governor to still act the capacity of the deputy governor? Why is there an impeachment move against him? It's a beautiful day out here. Welcome to North Sea TV and welcome to Ondo Hot Seat. My name is Ayokunle Ajishafe. On today's episode, we are here to answer lots of questions that are begging for answers in the political setting in Ondo State. And to answer those questions is no other person than the Director of Media and Publicity for the APC, Mr. Steve Otaloro. It's good to have you here, sir.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here again.
Hey there. Let me introduce you to the best platform where you can advertise both your online and offline businesses. It is also the best place for you to get first-hand information from your favorite public figures. It is also the best place for you to showcase whatever talent you have and become the star you know you can be. Welcome to North Sea TV. Let us take you to the next level.
Well, let's kick the ball rolling. Sometimes last week, the Arise TV made a video or released a comment about the whereabouts of the governor and the deputy governor of Ondo State. Also, the secretary of the People's Democratic Party in Ondo State was here to also talk about it. The question, everybody on social media, on the new media, everywhere, the question on the street is, where is the governor?
Well, thank you very much. I think the governor is very much around. We are all aware that he has been abroad, incapacitated health-wise for quite some time, for about 3 months or so. And he did the right thing by transmitting governance to the deputy to take care of himself. And for about a week, for about 4 weeks or going 5 weeks now, he has been back. That was why he equally wrote a different letter to the House of Assembly informing them that he's back in the state. But why people are probably raising this issue is that they've not been able to meet him in person or see him in the States. You know, he has his private home in Akure in Ibadan. He has always been living in Ibadan before he became governor. So when he came back, I think the right thing for him to have done is to return to Ibadan, which he did. But people are expecting him to resume work, which they are quite right, honestly. But the truth is, you see, our health has to do with the advice of our medical doctor. I want to believe that he's still living in his private home at Ibadan because it still has to do with these health issues. He needed to recuperate fully. But the fact that he's back in Nigeria is to tell you that things have started moving up. Issues of governance has taken a different path, and people have been reaching out to him. And he, of course, Ondo State people need to exercise a little bit patience. You see, when it comes to issue, it's better for him to be 100% have this clean bill of health than halfway, not even 99.9. So we expect him anytime soon that he will be back in the state.
The governor has a private residence in Owo, his hometown. Why can't he move there? Are we saying we don't have enough medical facility to attend to the governor, the number one person of Ondo State, that he must rule from Oyo State?
What difference will it have made if he decides to stay in Owo and is presently staying in Ibadan? What difference would it have made? This is not the state capital. The two places you mentioned is not the state capital, that's correct?
But sir, sorry to cut you. One is his area of jurisdiction. This is as good as we're saying it's fair for you as the father of the house to rule from your neighbor's house than to be, okay, I don't want to stay in my bedroom, but I can stay in my son's room.
You see, we have to get something clear. Most people who doesn't live in Akure, we always find their village, even the house in their village, as second to their main place in Lagos or in Ibadan and Kaduna, where they're living mainly. Where this man has been living from time immemorial has been Ibadan. You know, he has always identified with Ibadan. That's where he lives. That is because he's from Owo doesn't mean he's more comfortable at Owo than Ibadan. The place that is most comfortable is where we should look at it. Let's give it to him. He's is just coming from a long medical journey. He need all the rest in this world. Where he felt is almost at home is the place best suited for him. And I think in this instance, it's Ibadan. It would have been a different thing if it's a native of Akure and you think he should stay in Akure. That would have been a different thing. If he's not living any other places other than the state capital, it doesn't still make the difference. And for the people of Ondo State that he has not addressed them, I understand. You see, because while he was away, a lot of people were sharing love, expressing love, and praying for him. And those people who visited him at Ibadan, we know these are the things he has been saying. He keep thanking them profusely that their prayer has been answered. He keep appreciating all those people who came to visit him. That is not around yet. Is still to suggest that he is still in the process of finally recuperating. And if you make that mistake of coming to Akure or at this time, I want to tell you the level of traffic of people that would bombard that house, he will not even have that rest. That was why he chose to hide himself far away from Ibadan, far away at Ibadan. So that he will be coming. Governance is not centered around one person. We should all understand this. He needs all the rest that he deserves to be fully recuperated. And with the advice of doctor, he will at the right time come to Akure. That I want to assure the good people of Ondo State.
Well,
presently, it's still a process. Recuperation is a process. You know, he needed to come back because a lot of things have been happening. People have been asking about his whereabouts, and there should be a time limit to which you can even recuperate abroad. So he came back to assure our people that he's still very strong. Unlike the rumor that have been going around that he is dead and so many rumors. You need to allay the fear of the people who are praying for him. That was why he came back. And I can understand whatever the people are going through right now, but we continue to enjoin them, to please tarry, to appreciate the fact that he's sick. Sickness is a process before you fully recover 100%. And he deserves all the rest. We still have close to a year plus to go. At the appropriate time, we will come back to address the good people of Ondo State. Beyond October 1st, we address our people. Now, people will appreciate that he has just like every human being. He's not a superhuman being, in spite of the fact that they call him a lot of Mr. Do and Mr. Talk and Do, tireless God, so many things. He's still human. And we should all put our shoe, if he's our father, our brother, our whatever. And a lot of people wants to come before him and appreciate him and pay their homage.
The governor handed over to the deputy, returned, and told us he has returned. Why can't he allow the deputy governor to still act in the capacity of the deputy governor while he's in Ibadan? Why is there an impeachment move against him?
Well, he has handed up that he has taken over the reign of power when he came back from Germany. And as a deputy governor, you expect him to be in his office. The House of Assembly is doing some investigations on him.
Yes, sir.
So I want to believe if he's not acting in his capacity as a deputy governor, that has to be with him. And that has to do with the fact that he's going through some investigation from the House of Assembly. But that the governor did not allow him is not an issue. The governor allowed him. Why wouldn't the governor that is not even yet in the state? It beholds on him to do his job, which I believe he's doing. But because you can't perfect two things together. You can't do two things together, especially when a volatile issue that has to do with investigation. So probably, that is what is drawing him back on state functions that you've not been seeing him. Because this issue could equally be resolved politically. Maybe he's going about it politically to resolving it. But the truth is, there's an investigation on him. We all know that. And there's a process. It's not yet impeachment. And people saying impeachment. If it is impeachment, the House will pronounce this. And as a political party on our own, I just told you now that we are not coming into it. But that doesn't mean we are not talking at the background. The advice we could give, we are talking. And we are trying to see to a peaceful resolution. But issue of misappropriation, like I said, is not something the party could just dabble into. Its public accountability has to come in. and the public are watching. So we are equally taking our time, to look at the level we could come into it. But so far, I tell you, our prayer at the end of the day is for him to get out of it, for the issues to be resolved. But if he does it in another way, then people should even appreciate our party, that we are open when it comes to this issue. Because acting on behalf of the public is one thing, and not doing that is another thing. So we want to be on the side of the people, that whoever is found culpable has to go through the rigor of the law. The law has to take its course, even if it's the governor. That's the truth. But as a political party, we pray it doesn't get to that level. So we're watching it.
Well, I want to agree with you to a level, because no one prays, and sincerely, trust me, a lot of people, irrespective of the political differences, actually prayed that he gets back, he gets well, and he gets back to his feet so that he can continue the running of the state. But now, the question is this: who is running the state? You yourself said that the deputy governor, due to some investigation that have been levied against him, cannot carry out his full duty. The governor is not in the state. Who is running the state?
The governor doesn't have to be in the state before the state keep running. It's an auto.
So we are on autopilot.
No, kind of. You see, governance.
Sir, are you saying that we are on autopilot?
Every government is on autopilot. You don't have to see the leader of that team before things. Many times the president goes out of the country. Are you saying governance has stopped?
No.
That's the truth.
At such situation, there is no difference between the president and the vice president. We understand the situation where governors, their deputy, people can travel. There are times that there are functions, government functions, there are events that take people out of the town, take people out of the state. But in a situation where, for instance, if you look at the streets of Akure, everywhere is littered up, piled up of dumps in the heart of Akure. Nobody is talking about it. Nobody is calling anybody to order. The governor is not here to see it, probably. When he came back from Germany, we noticed people were cleaning up the state. Immediately, we didn't see him in Akure. Dunks started returning to the city of Akure.
That's not true. If you say the street of Akure is dirty, that can't be true. There are people responsible for this. And if they are not doing their job, then we should know. It's not the job of the government.
We know, because, because I remembered that a couple of people had to call via Twitter that the people that are responsible for this, yes, the governor is not around, but the people that are responsible, the Commissioner for Environment and the organization that are supposed to clean up, because everywhere was a total mess. So we cannot deny the fact that the people that are supposed to clean the state were not doing their job because the governor was not around.
You won't say because the governor was not around, and
that means they are not competent.
And the word, then if that is true, I cannot subscribe to that yet, because I'm not aware the street was that dirty. I passed through Adeshida and I passed through everywhere. I didn't say that.
You need to pass
but
through.
If that is happening, then some people has to be held responsible. And we should not, because the governor is not around, some people should not do their job. And because you said the governor is not around, you see, let me say this, that the governor is not physically around doesn't mean he's not in charge. Letter has been transmitted to the House of Assembly and he's fully in charge. You see, I told you, he's not around, I agree with you, but all the commissioners are doing their job. Every other agencies are doing their job. They must be taking this directive from somewhere. ODEC just announced to us that they'll be conducting the local government election in February next year. They can't take that decision in isolation because they are not the one who is going to provide funds for that election. They must have met with the governor. Decision must have been reached by the governor and his cabinet and giving them go ahead, because provision must have been made for such fund. So it's just to tell you. But the only difference here is that people are not seeing the governor in Akure. And like you said, the governor has not been reaching out to them through an address. And I just told you, for God's sake, let's hold people responsible if things are not working. If it is the duty of the governor that certain things are not working, it should be responsible. But in this wise, that certain places are dirty in the state capital, it's not the job of Mr. Governor. That's the truth. That's the truth. And I told you, it is not by his doing that he is sick. These are things the level of his work ethics will have been lovely, it continue. But you see, he didn't create himself. It happens, and it is what it is. And the truth is, he has to go through a process to get well. So let us support him. That's what we keep preaching. You see, when I listen to opposition talk, and I don't want you to talk like opposition here. When they talk,
I'm just asking. I'm just trying to clear the fact.
You just said some people were praying. Everybody were. That's not true. Not everybody. When you are bashing, opposition cannot tell us they are doing the same thing. When you are bashing a man who is on medical leave abroad, you keep bashing him with different press statements every day in the media, and you keep planting narratives in the media that is no more, is dead.
Are you saying? Let
me land. When you ask the question, let me answer.
I know, but I want so that you can answer it together. Are you saying the PDP is a formidable opposition for APC?
How would you know? They are opposition. Opposition is opposition. The word formidable, then we can look at it critically. It's relative. But they are still opposition. Even the least political party in this state is still opposition. We respect them. You know, they are bringing something to the table. Constructive criticism is what makes government grow anywhere in the world. And we appreciate that. But not in a situation where someone is sick, and you all know he's sick. You are bashing him. You keep throwing out one statement after the other. You keep putting narratives within the media and online. That is no more. He is there. They are not even, the deputy governor is not even in charge. Who is in charge? These are unnecessary narratives. They are responsible, and at the end of it, they will say, we are praying for you. Which one are we going to believe? You are bashing him, at the same breath, you say you are praying for him. We know. And we are not surprised, because we have 2 elections ahead of us.
Maybe they are doing their jobs.
That's not the way to good job. Opposition, no, because we call you opposition, that doesn't mean you won't see things that are good in the government.
That's why they are praying for him. They are opposition.
That's what they said.
They are opposition, they are tackling him. But they are citizens of Ondo State. That's why they are praying for him.
The evidence on ground does not suggest they are doing that.
Okay.
But whichever way, God has spared his life. They are not the owner of his life. And whoever is not even doing the needful, he is not his creator. God has saved his life up to this present point. We continue to do that by his grace. But we have to look, we have to be pragmatic with issues on ground.
All right, sir. Before
the governor is recuperating. And at the right time, he'll be back in the state to address the people of the state.
I take that from you. I'm going to make a comment and the last question, and then I'll let you go. I think the Commissioner for Information needs to do more work so that people can be confident in the governance or the government of Arakuri Rotimi Odoayo Akeredolu.
You mentioned the Commissioner for Information. What else would she have done? She's doing the best she could do, you know, putting all the stories in the place. But you see, you can't answer all rumors. You can't answer all stories that has a faceless people. If you are doing that, then you are wasting your time. And you can't give leverage for such stories. There are some stories that has not even left the internet. As Commissioner for Information, if she has to respond to such story, then you are giving it such story with more leverage. You know, such leverages is what they don't deserve. And that was what they are craving for. That's why they are doing those things. So the best of our ability and to the happiness of the government, I think she's doing fantastically well.
So are you aware there is a rumor that some people, a group of young people, are coming out to protest that the governor needs to return to the state? There are also rumors that your party is trying to sabotage that protest by having a counter protest. What is your take?
Then let us look at it critically. When such group of people decided to want to round the street up just because they said they want the governor to return, what are they fighting for? Why? What is the reason behind this? You knew he's incapacitated health-wise. Are you not supposed to be empathetic with his faith? Are you not supposed to support him at this hour? When you now decided to go to the street, fighting for what? That means they have been sponsored. I just told you.
Okay.
It could be within his house and it could be within the opposition. But whoever is responsible to such act, you will understand they are being propelled to do that. Because ordinarily, as a Yoruba people, you know, whoever is sick, all we need to give is to give such person support, not to vilify him. Situation wherever you are, even the dead, they will not vilify a dead person. Whatever must have been he or her sin is forgiven almost immediately. not to talk of somebody that is incapacitated head-wise. We all give support. That is our culture. We give support. But when you now see people saying they want to come out to protest, and as a political party, who are we to sabotage such move? We know such move won't be popular. Why should we waste our breath, waste our time, our energy, trying to sabotage such thing? Even we will not do such thing for oppositions. Whatever we are not going to do for opposition, whoever is behind it, we just let them go. You can't do a demonstration for a whole 24 hours. That will not be them. The police will be in charge. So we are doing nothing. With a lot of protests, some scanty protests here and there, sponsored protests here and there. As a political party, we don't answer for such things.
Let's talk about the issue of the certificate of the sitting president, President Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu. There are lots of questions being raised, talking about forgery, not forgery. What is your take?
Well, the whole thing, you see, political, but we've said it and we keep saying this, election should be won at the ballot, not at the court. But it seems a desperate presidential aspirant, candidate, who lost in an election, is looking for a way around, another way to topple the eventual winner, because he believes if Asiwaju is disqualified today, we have the hedge. But at times you look at the kind of friends you keep. You know, there must have been some secret between them, talk between them, you know, that he might not even know Asiwaju is not giving him the total picture of what is happening. So he went to, that even did that. We're happy. He's only because this has always been an ongoing issue. If Asiwaju come up tomorrow to give his certificate, I believe most people will not even believe that he got it now. I think he has only validated the position of Asiwaju. The school told him he is a student. He went through the rigor of the school. He's a past student. What else do you want? We even want a situation whereby you'll be able to present it at the court, even though that prayer might not be there any longer, as you cannot present new evidence. But we pray. He presents it so that it will be part of the abjudication that the court will come up with. At the end of it, that's what we pray. But it is now glaring to all Nigerians, to the world, that Asiwaju actually went through Chicago State University. He graduated there. He's an accountant. And he did very well. So our article has helped us to bring that narrative to the public layer. Whatever he still has, let him bring it to the court. He has lost at the Court of Appeal. He said he's interested in going to the Supreme Court. Everything should be brought to the table, so that at the end of the day, whoever is ruling us, we all have full confidence in such person that is not what he said he is. Because politics brings in a lot of contempt, that things your opponents will say against you just to have a leverage. All these things have been said against Asiwaju Bola Ahmed Tinubu online. And at the end of the day, he has been vindicated. And this last straw that broke their back is still coming for. That is actually a former student of Chicago State University. We are happy.
That I would ask one more question on that. Now, there is this part of the story that says the certificate that was issued to him, that he submitted under oath to INEC, wasn't issued directly from the Chicago State University. Now, somebody made an allusion, if I may use, or an analogy, saying that if you have a valid driver's license, and because you lost it or for whatever reason, maybe you traveled out and you forgot it in the US, you came to Nigeria and you forged, in spite of the fact that your driver's license is still valid, you forged another driver's license, it is still forgery. Do you agree with that?
No, that's not true. You can't forge your own document. You see, we place a lot of premium on certificate here. The university even made it known to us that if you have your certificate, fine. If you are coming because you lost, if you are coming back, they don't issue. And every university do the same thing. If you lose your certificate, you lost it forever. You can create something else. You can't forge what you have. The transcript will show.
But don't you think...
You see, those documents, those certificates are issued once. That you lost your driver license, you issue something else. A duplicate copy of such thing. It's not forgery. You didn't forge it. You can't forge what you have. That is what universities just told them. It's your property, for God's sake. That's the truth. Because we place too much premium on documents in Nigeria. And often than not, we go to, after having that, you go to the court probably here to do an affidavit to that effect that you lost so. You know, that affidavit will serve as that document. Is that not?
Yes.
But you can as well print it. You see, they told you a vendor could print such thing.
So why didn't he use a sworn affidavit?
No, he did the best possible things at that time. You know, he was more or less in exile then when he said he lost this certificate. And United States of America is not where you can easily go to. It's not as if I'm traveling to Kano, I'm traveling to Kaduna. At expediency, he used the best possible form he could use then. The bottom line is, the transcript has shown that he's a former student here. He held some even position, he contested some election and won as president of accounting department or whatever. So the bottom line is he a student or not? That is what the court will be interested. Not even the certificate. Anybody can bring a forged certificate and say, this is what you brought. You will still need the validation of the school. And the school has provided that. That yes, it's an ex-student. What else do you want?
Thank you for coming around again. We really appreciate your time. Thank you for, making certain things clearer to us than we already know.
Thank you very much. It's my pleasure to be here again. Thank you.
Well, that's about all we can take on this episode of Ondo Hot Seat. We pray that God gives our dear governor good health so that he can return back to his seat of office. Until next time, when I come your way, my name remains Ayokunle Ajishafe. God bless Ondo State and God bless the Federal Republic of Nigeria.